Hi guys, it's Clarice again, and here is the third part to this series that I'm doing, and we're going to be tackling the flowers at the top here, which are also going to be kind of big flowers. And for these ones, I've decided to tackle the dahlia. And again, keep in mind this is going to be a very loose version of the dahlia, so if it doesn't really look like a realistic one, please do not I was going to say please don't kill me, but that might be too harsh for social media, although I've just said it. So there we go, that's what I was trying to say. Anyways, let's begin. I am going to be using my number 4. Again, I'm using the smaller brushes because this is a smaller space, and ideally I would like to try and use my mop brush. I'm going to keep this handy, and I have a regular number 6 handy as well. For colors, I'm using a nice orange. I tried it out here. It kind of looks like an orangey yellow. I think you can see it. Yep. And I'm just going to use a brownish, yeah, like a brown and a green for the centers. And so to begin with, I am going to start with the centers. So the dahlias have a nice greenish center, and so I'm just going to start off with using some of the green and the brown that I've mixed in here. And I'm just going to lightly dab all around, and then I'm going to take the number 6 and getting some of the orange on here. I'm just going to make sure I have somewhere to mix it, and because I don't want the orange to be like the others, I want to start off light and then go dark. So I'm going to start off with a light orange blend. And I just want to start off like this by just clicking the center and just kind of dragging out. And just make sure if you are following along with this whole tutorial that I've done here, make sure that your centers are, everywhere it's dried, and so it's not kind of on your hand as you're doing the petals of the dahlia. And literally all you're doing is you're just creating tiny petals, loose petals all around. And it's fine if you kind of touch the other petals and have that blend of color, that's nice. But if it's getting dark to light, that is also a very nice effect. And just keep it very loose. Keep adding, keep going. And as you go, I would say do about 3 layers of these. And as you get outside, just do less detail. And if you want to add a little more color just to sort of have a variation going on, that's up to you. That might be nice. And then as you get towards the end, you can just kind of even do like dots. Leave that up to you guys. And now I'm just going to go in and just get more of the orange and just do like a tinier range of petals on the inside, and then just alternate them on the outsides as well, and just add them where you see fit, just hints of them here and there. And if they're blending in because it's still damp, that's fine, just kind of go with it. Remember, this is a very loose version of the dahlia. It's not supposed to be overpowering or overly realistic looking, so it's fine. If you want to add a little bit of a flare to your petals, like the outer petals, go ahead and do that as well. You can leave some as points, and points as in like just, you know, just having a dot for detail as opposed to like a flare. But if you want to give your petals direction, that's kind of nice, because the dahlia petals are kind of like fire, right? So that's nice when you do that. And I'm just going to get more of the orange, add them here and there. It's a little bit too dark. I don't want it to be that dark. I'm just going to add it here and there. And yep, that's your dahlia. Now I just have one in the side here, because like I mentioned before, I like to have 2 or 3. And so for that, I'm just going to go really lightly and just create strokes. Because it's off to the side, just like this peony right here, I'm literally just doing strokes. And I'm leaving that kind of center open so I can add some green so it can blend in nicely. I'm going to add some pink to this orange here, just to create a variety. And then I'll just go back, get darker orange, and just add that very subtly. And then while I still have this, I'm just going to do the buds. And because it's loose, remember, leave some white space. It's fine. And I'm using my 4 now, and I'm going to go ahead and get some green or green brown and just pull this down. And if we can blend it in with the orange, that would be fantastic and beautiful. Go for it. And then I'm just going to do some over here. And then finally, we're just going to do the leaves for the dahlia, which is just it's just the bigger leaves that they have, and because it's loose again, literally just dab color on there. And you can make it darker because the dahlia is actually slightly darker, or a brighter green rather, not quite so brown intense. So add some of that in there. Notice I'm using my 4, and that's okay. You can use any of the brushes that I've been using so far, whatever makes you feel comfortable to create this. And I'm just adding a little more variation in the leaves, so it gives it a little more oomph, so to speak. Adding some on there. It seems to be a little bit too brown. fine. And then doing it on this side. I'm gonna try and not. If you need the dahlia leaves for reference, just kind of look something up really quickly. Or if you just want to mimic what I'm doing, that's fine too. And then I'm just gonna do some here. And then I think these are dry, so I'm just gonna put my hand on there. I'll get some of the brown just for some variety of color. And then just remember loose. So I'm just kind of doing rough strokes, but making sure that it's lightly touching the sheet, creating a leaf shape that is similar to that of the dahlia. And not too much detail, because then you just kind of want to fade off. Then I think what I'll do is, sorry guys, just add a little bit right there. I should probably fade, do a time lapse of this, but for those who kind of just want to see how the painting just evolves, I'm just going to leave it on and not say much. So clearly over here, I really wanted these buds to be by themselves, but sometimes when I paint, I get carried away with adding more detail, and now I have all these leaves that I didn't intend to put here, and yet somehow they're here, and they kind of aren't really adding much to it. But this is what happens when you paint, guys. Sometimes you make a call and it doesn't quite work out the way you wanted it to. And because I paint live, or usually when I'm painting at the tutorials, I'm just winging it. You guys get to see all of this. And that's okay. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. You might walk away, you might come back tomorrow and say, hey, you know what, I kind of really like that. That looks nice. My solution to this would be me just adding, and hopefully I don't muck this up, adding some orange, very faint orange indication of like maybe more buds kind of in the background. Or you could just even spray it on if you want. I don't have a lot of the orange on here, but if I did, it would be a lot more. Something like that. And yeah, so this is my tutorial on how to do a really quick dahlia to enhance this nice looking wreath so far. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to write them in the comments, or you can follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook, and we can interact there if that's easier. If you found this tutorial useful at all, or you enjoy my tutorials, I'd love it if you guys could share it with your extensions on social media. That would be amazing. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and as per usual, we will chat soon. Bye!